Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're breaking down a really fascinating concept called the discipline of consistency beyond the three-day wall. Our goal here is to reveal the exact step-by-step mechanics of building a foolproof, completely unbreakable study habit. We're going to dive right into why your current routine might be failing you and exactly how to fix it.
So, picture this highly relatable scenario. It's Sunday night, right? You're feeling this massive burst of motivation. You sit down, you create the absolute perfect study table, you arrange your books neatly on your desk, and you promise yourself, this time things are going to be different. I am studying every single day. And honestly, it starts great. Monday goes flawlessly. Tuesday goes really well too. But then, we hit Wednesday. Something shifts. You're feeling a little tired. You tell yourself, you know what, I'll just skip one day to rest. And somehow, almost magically, that one single skip day turns into an entire week. And before you even know what hits you, the habit is completely broken. Sound familiar? I'm willing to bet it does. Look, if you've lived through this exact frustrating cycle, let me assure you right now, you are definitely not alone. And more importantly, you need to hear this crucial takeaway right from our source material. Your failure in this Sunday to Wednesday crash cycle is not because you're lazy. Seriously, not at all. It actually happens because of a fundamental misunderstanding of how the human brain genuinely tackles long-term goals. Which brings us to Section 1, the motivation myth. You see, most students think they need this constant burning motivation to get their work done. You've probably been there. You watch a highly charged motivational video on YouTube and you feel completely unstoppable for a few hours. You literally believe you're going to change your entire life right then and there. But by the very next day, that feeling starts fading. And by the end of the week, it's completely gone. Why? Well, because motivation is just a spark. It's incredibly powerful, sure, but it is entirely temporary. The students who actually succeed aren't walking around motivated 24/7. Their real secret is discipline. It's that ability to just keep going even when that motivational spark completely disappears. So how do successful students actually build that discipline? Well, they avoid what our source material calls the rookie mistake. Deciding you're going to study for 6 or 7 hours every single day sounds super impressive on paper, but after just a few days of that intense pressure, your brain actively starts resisting. The goal feels way too big, way too difficult, and frankly, it's just exhausting. Eventually, you quit. The actual secret to success is the exact opposite. You have to make studying so incredibly easy that it basically becomes impossible for your brain to avoid it. The magic number for habit building here? It's 30. Committing to just 20 or 30 minutes every single day is vastly more effective and far more sustainable than trying to pull an all-nighter and cram for 6 massive hours once a week. And that brings us to the real core of today's topic, consistency. It's the principle that small, daily actions will beat intense, infrequent efforts every single time. By keeping your daily requirements small, you're brilliantly bypassing your brain's natural resistance to hard, exhausting work. You aren't asking your brain to climb Mount Everest, you're just asking it to take a single step.
All right, let's move to Section 2, the willpower trap.
Another massive reason students end up quitting is that they rely purely on raw willpower. They think, I'll just force myself to sit down and study. But here's the thing, willpower is a strictly limited resource. Think of it like a battery on your phone. Throughout the day, the more decisions you make, what to wear, what to eat, how to respond to a text message, the weaker that willpower battery becomes. By the time evening rolls around, mental fatigue has totally drained you, making the simple decision to study feel like an impossible uphill battle.
To escape this willpower trap, you have to rely on structure. If you sit down to study at the exact same time every single day, something honestly magical happens. Your brain completely stops debating whether or not it actually wants to study. It already knows what comes next. By removing the decision of when to study, you completely eliminate that decision fatigue. Suddenly, studying shifts from being this exhausting daily battle of wills right into an automatic habit.
Section 3. Defeating daily distractions.
We really need to talk about modern tools because they create a highly dangerous, slippery slope. Your phone vibrates and instantly your attention breaks. You tell yourself, okay, I'll just check this one message. But we all know checking one message inevitably leads to checking another. Then you click on a video, and before you even realize what's happening, boom, an entire hour of your dedicated study time is completely gone. The source material emphasizes a vital perspective shift here. The problem isn't necessarily that you lack the personal capability to focus. The problem is that you are literally surrounded by apps and devices actively designed by some of the smartest engineers in the world to steal your attention. Because these distractions are so insanely powerful, you absolutely cannot rely on willpower to ignore them. You need to physically neutralize them before your study session even begins. Here is a clear, actionable procedure straight from our source called the Anti-Distraction Protocol. Step 1, put your phone completely away, like out of sight, out of reach. Step 2, turn off all the notifications on your computer or tablet. Step 3, create a physical environment where focus naturally becomes the easiest option available to you. Remember, if you control your environment, you control your focus.
Next up, Section 4, Rebounding from Failure. Let's get deeply honest for a second. Here is an absolute truth. You are going to miss a day. Everyone does. Life happens, right? You get sick, an emergency pops up, or honestly, you just have an off day. But the fatal mistake isn't missing that one day. The actual mistake is taking that one single missed day and turning it into a justifiable reason to completely quit the habit forever.
You have to fundamentally reframe how you view missing a day. It is just a minor bump in the road. It's not a total failure. Progress isn't about being flawlessly perfect every single day of the year. True progress is about the resilience of returning to the task every single time you fall off track. If you miss today, no big deal. You simply study tomorrow. If you completely fail this entire week, you don't abandon the goal, you just start again next week. You keep the momentum alive by flat out refusing to let a temporary slip become a permanent stop.
Finally, Section 5, Finding Your Purpose.
To maintain consistency long after that initial excitement fades, you absolutely must anchor your daily routine to your core reasons for studying in the first place. You have to remember your personal why. Maybe it's getting better grades to get into a really specific program. Maybe it's the long-term vision of building a highly successful career. Or maybe it's just a deep, personal desire to make your family proud. Whatever your specific reason is, keep it incredibly close to your mind. When your underlying purpose is strong and ever-present, grinding through that daily discipline becomes so much easier.
Because ultimately, guys, success doesn't just suddenly arrive after one amazing marathon study session. That's a myth. It comes quietly. It comes from hundreds of completely ordinary, totally unglamorous study sessions that absolutely nobody else sees. It happens one page at a time, one chapter at a time, one day at a time. You have to stop waiting for that perfect wave of motivation to strike. And you really have to stop waiting for the absolute perfect moment to begin. Start small, and just stay incredibly consistent.
I want to leave you with one final really powerful thought from our source material today. A year from now, you'll either wish you had started today, or you'll be grateful that you did. Time is going to pass regardless of what you do. So my question to you is this: what single 30-minute step will you take today to ensure you are grateful a year from now? Thank you so much for joining me in this explainer. Keep learning, and I'll see you next time.